Okay, mandatory mic check. Okay, I think that sounds good. Alrighty, to start with, I'm actually going to have a preview of one of my newest paintings that I haven't shown anybody yet. And that'll be in just a second. I just forgot that my camera isn't in the right place. So 1 second. Yes, I get that into the right place. Alrighty. Alright, I don't think anyone's... Oh, 2 viewers, that's good. Alrighty, hello. Let me fix my face cam. Okay. So this is my latest painting that, wow, that is really dark. Why is that so dark? It's a bit better. Okay, it's a little better. Yeah, so this is the latest painting I just finished. And like I said, I haven't posted it anywhere. Kind of a little preview I'm doing here. And I will be posting it later at some point along with a video and everything. But yeah, thought I'd share it to start with. And I'm just going to put it over here to dry. And here we have the orange boy. Let's see, I think it was like this last time. Okay, just trying to match it as close as possible. Sometimes it's hard to tell. All right. You can already tell that the face is that of Dresden. That's good. All right. Yeah, I think it's starting to look like him. Although I might lose it a few times throughout the painting process, which is pretty normal. Hi, Ike. Good evening to you too. How you doing? How you doing today? All right, let's see if this is wet. I have no idea if the painting's still wet or not. Yep, that's wet. That's wet. Ooh, some of that's starting to dry. Interesting. I think it's anything with phthalo blue. Oh, and here is the star of the show today. Tristan, do you want to see your portrait? Tristan, oh, baby boy. Yeah, okay, thank you. Why do you lick my nose? That's you. I don't think he recognizes himself yet. Yeah, that's you. No, I have to do better to make it look more like you. Okay. Dresden, I appreciate all the cuddles, but I'm trying to stream right now. Yeah. I can't paint with you in my arms. I wish I could. Oh, look at the belly. Look at that belly. Okay. Oh, so much hair. Ike says I'm doing okay. That's good to hear. Michelle says, yet you act like one day he'll magically realize it's him. He won't. LOL. I know. I'm just joking around. I know. He barely recognizes himself in the mirror or on camera. So, yeah. Well, he doesn't recognize himself in camera. Sometimes he recognizes himself in a mirror or glass. Making some space on my palette. I was working on a different painting late last night, which I showed earlier. Um, so none of these mixes are for this painting. Not that it matters all that much, given that I always use the same palette, so I can adapt all of these mixes to whatever I need. All right, let's see. I think the big thing I have to do is I have to bring up some of the values quite a bit first. I think that's probably going to be the main focus to get all my values up. Because until I get those values up properly, it's throwing everything off. So yeah. Oh shoot, I forgot to put my phone up. 1 second. Almost forgot to do that. The idea is that I'm going to use all these recordings for time lapses, and the ones on my phone are for social media, and the camera up there is for the stream. But we'll see if I ever actually follow through on that. I've done a few, but definitely need to do more. Actually, output them, not just record them. But all right, there we go. Hmm. Okay. Um, Sorry, my computer's giving me some weird signals here. 1 second. Okay, just checking. Alrighty. Yeah, so some of this is unfortunately a little at the stage that I is like the worst painting stage, which is it's just kind of sticky. Like everything's sticky. It's not really wet, and it's not really dry. It's that in between stage that is not great to paint on, unfortunately. Honestly, I'm a little surprised that it's not dry by now, but seems like mostly it's the stuff with the phthalo in it that is, no, not all. I don't know. Take that back. Some of it isn't, but phthalo does dry pretty slow. It's a shame. I should have worked on this more in my off time. Then it would be what's it called? Be more wet for today. But yeah, once I bring up these values, really changes everything. Because now everything has to rise to match it. For anyone who's curious, this is a 11, no, sorry, a 9 by 12. So it's not a very large painting. So far, I've found like 9 by 12 is seems to be a real nice sweet spot between like it's a good size, you can get a good amount of detail for many paintings, not everything. But simple paintings, portraits and simple single figures and stuff like that. And then at the same time, it's not too large and it's not too small. So it falls into that category of like a good medium spot. And realize I was out of my red. I'll have to put some more out in a second. And I have to order more quinacridone rose soon. Not like super soon, but I always like to order in advance, so I'm not worried about it. I hate being at the very end of the tube waiting for the, delivery. I'd rather have it sitting and waiting than what's it called? Than worrying that delivery won't show up in time. Okay, that's good. There we go. Trying to match the fence here because not all of the leaves are the same color, but or the same value, but some of them are so close that they, when I squint, almost merge together. And by doing this, it will force me to bring up Dresden's, you know, coat values as well. And if something's too light, I can always darken it as I go. But having everything too dark is not good. Alrighty. So, like my last cat painting, my goal is to not have to paint every like wisp of fur and every individual hair. Those aren't the types of paintings that I want to paint. So the abstraction is super important and difficult. And I'm going to try this time not to grab, I have some frayed brushes, but I'm actually going to try less frayed brushes this time and use my very plain flat brush to do more of it, forcing me to do more abstraction. I saw a painting from trying to remember who it was. Oh, an artist on one of the discords I'm a part of. She's a really good artist. And she did a cat painting, and I just loved how she handled the abstraction of the fur. And I'm not trying to copy her style because I wouldn't just we're not, we don't paint the same, but I still can learn from her, even if I'm not trying to paint like her exactly. That's kind of the goal. Overall, I think that's something that as artists we can do. We can learn from other artists without having to try and paint just like them. Well, because I'm trying to bring up the light areas in general, I am more focused right now on all the white spaces and the light fur and everything. But of course, I will be painting everything. But at the moment, that is probably going to be the focus a little bit. For when I mess it up and it looks weird. So fur and hair and all that, you know, from a distance, gives a soft look to things, which I think makes makes sense, right? Like it's soft, it's fuzzy, but the reason it makes things look soft is because it has the frayed edges everywhere. Um, and if you mix things and give things soft edges, even if you don't do the little hair texture from a distance, it still kind of gives off that impression, depending, of course, on the edge of the what's it called, what you're painting, right? Like if it needs to have those hairs coming off of it, then it won't look right. But if they're too fine to actually see, then yeah, it kind of pulls off the illusion. You can create the illusion of soft edges with just value. You don't even need to make the edge actually be soft. You have two things that are very close in value. Um, you can make the illusion if you do enough steps close enough. You know, once again, it's depending on circumstance and distance is a big factor, but yeah. I do wonder if I had an orange, like cad orange, would that be a lot easier? Would that make painting this a lot easier? I do wonder that. Orange, which is essentially, well, actually orange is orange, but brown is essentially an orange that is darker and desaturated. But brown and orange can be difficult sometimes because you, as soon as orange goes dark, it either goes red or desaturated into brown. I guess technically it could go into green, but it's hard to have a dark orange. So, whereas like blue, red, a lot of other colors can have those dark, dark versions of themselves. Orange is a problematic one. Yellow too. Yellow and orange, both difficult colors sometimes. All right. Quick stretch break. Mhm. And give my hands a second to breathe without the gloves on. All right, let me just stretch my back a little. Painting standing up has its advantages, but definitely has some disadvantages. I do have a stool, but I really barely ever use it. Might try and use it, but it just puts me at, I don't know, weird angles. Maybe it's harder when I'm doing detail versus when I'm not. Maybe that's the difference. Yeah, fur is slightly driving me crazy at the moment. It's just so much detail. Yeah, it's a little on the overwhelming side. Like I really find all the fur a little, it's just, it's so much little refined detail. I'm not talking even about the individual hairs, talking about all the like the way the hair breaks. And you see like in between the clumps, and that creates patterns and everything. I need to adjust the edge of just in like the fur back here. So painting over it is, to me, the easiest way of dealing with it. That's why I am doing that right now. Same thing here. So if I were to pull it out, um, like the fur like this, I could use the fact that this brush is a little frayed and get that kind of fur quality. But because I said that I'm trying not to rely on that, I'm going with the fur. I'm just using the softness from the paint mixing and blending to try and achieve that feel. Not saying I'm not going to go in and put any fur or anything like that, but I'm trying not to overly rely on that and instead focus on the abstraction. Now, running into some slight technical problems here because of the sticky paint. I'll have to do this with a palette knife. Now, I got the placement of this slightly wrong. That is causing me to get the proportions of Dresden wrong as well. So I'm going to correct that right now. Maybe I'll be slightly off still, but I'll be closer. It's one thing I'm always on the lookout for is things that are out of proportion that are leading me to make other things out of proportion. Come across that too often. So now I'm a little maybe paranoid about it, but yeah. Gotta remember to squint more often. Also very, what's it called? Challenging to distinguish between what is his coat pattern and what are just shadows or parting in the fur. Some of it's obvious, of course. Okay, sorry, got a notification. Had to check on that. Generally, the idea is to do dark underneath, like first, and then light on top, because that's how we see like fur, because we see the cracks and also the white colors. Anything mixed with titanium white has better coverage, but it's not perfect because sometimes, well, because I'm not perfect and I mess up, so it's like, sometimes I have to go back in and paint it darks and then lights over it and then back and forth a few times. Hey, Julie, welcome. Julie says, hi, Leon. Hi, everyone. How are you all? I am just dropping in to say hi, spend a few minutes. Beautiful kitty, Leon. Thank you. And I'm doing all right. How are you doing? Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Yeah, trying to get all the, fur and everything is so challenging. I definitely would still consider cats outside my comfort zone. But yeah, this is, I'm painting Dresden. In case you've never seen him, and I think you have, but in case you haven't, he's one of our three cats. Uh, oh, no worries, Julie. I know you didn't mean a question mark for for beautiful kitty. Uh, Julie says, running everywhere. I haven't been near the my paintings, but I miss it. Hopefully, I can take them out this week. I hope so. That'd be great. Julie says, I have seen him. He's the scared of himself cat. Yes, yes. He's scared of himself. He's seen himself in the monitor and he's scared of himself. Yep. That's him. Big baby. So when you get back to painting, what is your next painting that you're working on? Or which painting are you continuing? Do you have one in particular? Last I did after the portrait artist of the year one paint along was a few studies of landscapes to make pigments and get to know what I want my palette. Okay, I want to carry on those. I found it very interesting. That sounds great. Getting your palette, figuring out your palette and getting it to how you want it, it's one of those things. It's definitely like an ongoing thing. I know some people, once they get it, that's it. That's great if that's how it works for you. I think it's one of those things where it's like it comes in waves. Like you do it, you get it, and then after a while you're like, okay, let's see how I can modify this a bit. Or you come across a repeating problem and you're like, okay, let's fix this issue. Oh, and Julie says, and to do more portraits. I love the 4 hour rush of the Portrait Artist of the Year paint along. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's fun. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. I'm trying to get my practice so like obviously, I'll be able to take things to a more complete finish, but I'm trying to get a like quick finish kind of system down so I can do paintings faster, even if they're like looser or maybe not looser, but less finished. That's fine. I'm just trying to like get that down. Julie says, I don't know yet what I can get out of my pigments. So yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, absolutely. It takes time to like really get to know the pigments and the nuances of them. Some people do the like the what's it called? The painting swatches or the in oil paint, it's more common to do the not the swatches, but to do the like color charts. Um, which I see the value in them. I can't bring myself to do them. I also don't feel for me personally that they're all that necessary. But to each their own, of course. I feel confident enough in my like in my knowledge of the pigments that I use that I don't feel like the color charts are necessary for me, but I do painting experiments, which is not a version of the charts, but it's something. Yeah. For anyone who isn't familiar, the color charts, I think, is um, from the Alla Prima book, which I'm totally blanking on the painter's name right now. Uh, was it Richard Schmidt? Um, I I think it's Schmidt. And yeah, in his book, he talks about how to do these color charts that are very helpful to get to know your paint. Uses a lot of paint and is slow, but it does help, especially if you're not familiar with your paint at all. Let's see. Julie says, I have used the same landscape and mixed different blues with the same yellow plus a yellow, and I do it as material challenge. Okay. Yes, it is. I haven't read that one. Yeah, I've never read through it. But I've you know I've looked through it. I just haven't read through it. But it is considered one of the better uh, books on painting, if not one of the best books on painting. Oh, you meant plus a white. Okay, that makes more sense. What blue are you using? Generally speaking, a lot of traditional artists um, and books and just it's very common to use ultramarine blue. And after using phthalo, I'll be honest, I don't understand why everyone uses ultramarine blue anymore. Julie says, I have cerulean, cobalt, ultramarine, and phthalo. I was given some of them. That's fair. I will say, convenience colors are, as the name implies, convenient. And even if it's not a convenience color, if you want to have overlapping colors, your palette is your palette. So this is more just like as far as color scape goes. But as far as like the color gamut and the colors that those paints can cover, basically phthalo can cover about I would say about 98% of what the other three can combined. In my experience, at least from my perspective. Of course, it's not always convenient to mix everything. It's definitely slower. Plus, you have to deal with phthalo, which not everybody likes dealing with phthalo, which I totally get. But yeah, unless you unless you paint a lot directly from the tube. Uh, that's the only caveat. If you just take paint right out of the tube and put it down, then yeah, it's a different story. But like I said, that's just purely on a like range of color that they cover, not anything else. Those aren't the only reasons to pick paint. Julie says, no, I don't want to paint right out of the tube. Doesn't feel right. I know. There are some people that do that. That always baffled me. Um, People who collect like a ton of paint tubes of different colors. Like, don't get me wrong, I like to buy different paints and try different colors. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the people who are like, oh, I can't paint this because I need to go out and buy this color for this painting. And it's not like something that you can't mix. It's just, they just paint out of the tube. They don't bother mixing. I'm just like, I don't understand how you function as a painter. Like, not what you're doing makes no sense to me. Like, I get it. I like there's going to be some colors you just can't mix. because that's just the way paint is, right? Like, yeah, you can't, there are just some colors you can't mix, but everything else. Julie says, but I have found it very interesting to look at how much I could get different atmospheres by trying the different mixes of those. It gives a mood, for sure, for sure. But yeah, that's what I like doing. I like doing these experiments where I try to I try to match like one color to another or something to see like how far, like what are the limits of said, you know, color or pigment to see which one I'm going to keep using, stuff like that. Julie says I have been reading Mitchell Alball's books. What do you think? I'm enjoying them. I don't know. I don't think I know him. I don't think, at least my brain is not making the connections right now. Really bad with names, so, you know, there's that. But you're enjoying the books? What kind of books are they on? Painting theory, on art history? Curious. Hey, Cassandra. Yep, it's Dresden. How you doing, Cassandra? Julie says, and Susan Brookers and Todd McCasey. Jeez, yeah, I'm not familiar with them. At least I'm not like bringing up their names at the moment. Ginger says I'm doing all right, sleepy, but what's new? How are you? I'm sleepy too. I slept like crap last night, so I'm very, very tired, and because of that, also I couldn't take my medication because I don't take my medication when I'm super tired, so I'm just doing caffeine today. So yeah. Let's see. Julie says Abala wrote a landscape one. That explains why I haven't read it. And a workbook one. I'm learning a lot. I'll show you on Discord tomorrow. That'd be great. Sandra says, good to know you are in tip-top shape. Oh yeah, tip-top shape. Absolutely just white-knuckling it through today. But whatever. I was up super late last night because I was painting and I really, really wanted to finish the painting that I was working on, which I did. I showed it earlier in the stream. I'm not going to get it now because Now this painting's wet, and I don't really want to put it on top of this painting. But yeah, if you rewind to the beginning of the stream, you can see it. I haven't shared it anywhere yet, and I will not be sharing it until later. So it's a sneak peek for anyone who's interested. No obligations to go look at it because you'll see it eventually. So, but yeah. But yeah, otherwise, I'm doing good. Went to this what's it called? Workshop from the city. It was like a art small business artist workshop thing. I don't know. I'm trying to get out there more and network more and meet more people. So, did that this week. It was interesting. I I don't feel like I learned a ton because it was one of those things where it's like, you know, not what it's a talk about like alternative revenue streams. It's like, yeah, I get it. I know a lot of this stuff already. I've been, been doing this for a while, but if I hadn't been doing this for so long, probably would be, good information. But yeah, met a lot of really cool people. So that was nice. Cassandra says, I really like how it turned out. Oh, thank you. Yeah, for this painting, I'm really focused on trying to make it look like Dresden and also give the effect of fur without, with abstraction. I'm trying to push the abstraction element even further with this painting compared to last painting of a cat, of Winnie. So I have to do less like fur painting. How many people went to the thing? I don't know. It was about, I'd say about 20-ish people, I think. I don't know. It's hard for me to say exactly, but I'd say probably somewhere around there. Julie says, and then sometimes it's not only what you're being told if you know it already, but more about what will strike on the right spot. Absolutely, you're right about that. And at the right moment. Yeah, exactly. Told by a legitimate person. Yeah, absolutely. It definitely helps. And sometimes it's the phrasing. Like sometimes people will tell you something you already know, but the phrasing will make it make sense in a way that you didn't think about before. Um, you know, there's all kinds of elements like that too, for sure. Um, yeah. And just, get it like getting out there and networking in general is just so important. It's just one of those things. Even if nothing comes of it immediately, you're not the idea is not to network in a transactional way. That's the thing I've learned about networking personally. Like now people think of networking in a really negative way sometimes. And for me, the thing I realized is it's the transactional aspect of networking. So that's the problem, I think. That so networking to meet people and, quote unquote, make friends and so on is the way I approach it personally. Cassandra says, yeah, I think the LinkedIn style of networking has tainted the idea of it. Um, I don't know. I don't really like I'm on LinkedIn and I mean, I know a lot of people on LinkedIn, so I don't know. Like a lot of them are friends, so I'm not entirely sure. I suspect that LinkedIn, from is more corporate kind of thing, so it has that feeling for a lot of people. But I don't really, I personally don't really feel that way because most of the people I know on LinkedIn are like my friends. It's kind of like a professional version of Facebook to me. Um, but like I said, that I don't, you know, like I know a ton of artists and producers and directors, and it doesn't feel like um, it doesn't feel that way personally. But like I said, I might not be the typical LinkedIn user kind of thing. Cassandra says performative tech industry networking, I guess is what I meant. Yeah, that makes sense. Like I said, you know, like it really is, I would say about 95, roughly 95% of the people I know on LinkedIn, I'm also friends with them on Facebook and Instagram, and I've met them in real life. So, it feels a little different. But I understand what you mean. I do get it. I do understand. The other thing, the other thing too is personally, and one of the things I've reached out to work numerous times trying to get friends I know jobs. I mean, I can't do a ton, but I can be like, hey, this person, here's their portfolio, here's their resume, and they're really good to work with. That's about all I can do. But I've tried to get my friends jobs, um, and one of the two reasons I do that is because I like my friends and I'm trying to help my friends, and the second is because I let's look at it as like people have helped me in the past, so it would be really uh, crummy of me not to try and help people when I can. So I've always made a point to try and do that when I can. There's a limit, like of course, to what I could do in any given time, but I always try. It's always like something I make an effort to do. Because yeah, I would never have made it till like where I'm at now without help from others. Cassandra says 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Sandra says you're doing it right. Helping someone should feel just as good as being helped, if not better, really. Yeah, it does. Generally speaking, it feels better than being helped. Being helped is more beneficial. Helping others feels better. I would say I would put it that way, right? Like it's more it's better like like if I help someone get a job, it feels good, but I don't get anything out of it. They just got a job. If I get a job, well, now that's my income, right? So obviously it's better like to be helped in the sense of like what you get out of it. But if you've already got the job, helping someone feels much better. I got distracted and I forgot where I was planning on painting next. I don't even remember what color's on my brush. Okay. All right. Let's take a stretch break. I think that's a sign. Julie says, "Oh yes, I hate to ask. The feeling, I mean. Yeah. I get that." Cassandra says our evil plans are coming to fruition. Is your evil plan to distract me? Is that your evil plan? Yep, that's your evil plan. Okay. It's not too difficult to pull off, honestly. Uh, Xander says, I know I'm not supposed to talk about it because it gives you time to foil me. Xander says, yeah, I'm kind of kicking you while you're down today. Not very sportsmanly of me. Yeah, it's all good. I'm trying to remember what time I went to bed last night. I think it was like 4 a.m. and I woke up at 9:30 today. But I really wanted to finish that painting. I was like, no, I am finishing it tonight. Of course, I say that, but I'll go look at it later and decide if I need to do any last touches on it. Of course. Cassandra says, "Oh no. Oh yep. And then because I went straight from painting to bed with like I didn't do anything in between. I was just like painting, bed. I I I needed a bit of a wind down before I could fall asleep. But I went to bed and then I couldn't even fall asleep. Yeah, I hate when my brain won't shut off. Yeah, that rarely is a problem for me anymore. luckily. But it's more just like I was just awake with adrenaline, kind of thing. So yeah, the brain shut off thing used to be a big problem for me, but not anymore. Julie says I'm off to bed myself. It's high time. Thank you, Liad. We'll catch up soon. Have a great evening. Hey, have a good night, Julie. And when you get a chance, yeah, throw those books up into Discord. That'd be great. Thank you. Uh, yeah, there's this book called The Power of Now, which whatever. I'm not going to talk too much about like self-help nonsense, but there's one exercise in that book that I found very useful, which is the Cassandra says, "Oh yeah, I read that." Yeah, a lot of people have. The one exercise in that book that I've done over the years and gotten pretty good at is the like, taking like watching your own brain think. It's like this way of detaching from your thoughts, and it really does quiet the brain, um, that like that noise when you're trying to go to bed. Now, I'm not saying that you know, for me personally, I'm not going to say like, oh, always, it's never a problem. You know, I've had some especially very, very stressful days or nights or whatever where it's like it doesn't happen, but usually it's not a problem because I just like I don't know. It's not that I turn my brain off. It's just I kind of don't listen to it, I guess. Yeah. Alrighty. I don't know. Maybe my military service helped with that too, because I remember I had a friend who came. Wait, it was actually not a friend. It was my cousin. When he was in the military, he's older than me. He's he came over once to stay the night, because we were closer to where he was going the next day, so we helped him out, and he fell asleep in seconds. And Michelle complains that I do that now, where I just like I fall asleep within like minutes, and my head goes down, and I'm 5 minutes after my head goes down, I'm asleep. So maybe it has more to do with that than the other thing. Who knows? Cassandra says that used to be me. Never met anybody who went the opposite direction. That's interesting. Don't know what happened. Interesting. Okay. Have you tried this? Sleep deprivation. Have you tried always being so tired that you can fall asleep at any moment? I don't think it's the healthiest way of accomplishing that, but you know. Sandra says, ha ha ha. Yeah. Honestly, I think I may have been mentally and emotionally exhausted before. So this could be a good thing. Sure. If that's the case, maybe what you need to do is watch like online debates with like flat earthers or something like that before you go to bed, to mentally exhaust you. Sandra says, oh God, no. No, fair enough. I mean, I think you're probably right that won't help because the rage might, you know, but I'm just trying to find like the people who like have the dumbest arguments for something that will, you know, exhaust you mentally trying to figure out the weird mental gymnastics that they're doing to try and justify something. I saw the funniest Cassandra says I had to quit Threads after having it for less than a week because people were so dumb and toxic. Interesting. I barely use Threads. Um, what was it? What was I going to say? Oh, I saw this it was like a visual, it was like a 3D render that was like a visual representation of what the world would have to look like if it was flat with like sunrises and sunsets. Um and it was like the world was a flat disk and you had the sun go up and down for each area. And so it would pop up. It looked like I don't know, like like it was jumping all over the place because of how the sun rises and sets and everything. It was just like bouncing around like crazy. Like You'd literally have to have nearly multiple suns that have to be very small. And it just like, it made absolutely no sense. And just like, okay, this is just silly. It's all a conspiracy. Yeah. Goes all the way to the top. Sure. Sure, sure, sure. It's so silly. Yeah, there's a lot of places online I've had to restrict myself from because being on there has just been too toxic or infuriating or yeah. Yeah, I've had to do that a lot late in the last year. However, flat earthers have not been a big part of that. That's why I chose them for the for this example because I'm like they seem dumb but harmless. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the impression I get. I saw someone from Landscape Artists of the Year being a complete jerk to another artist. I was mad about it for like 2 days. Wait, what? I haven't seen anybody be a jerk on that on those shows. That's crazy. On threads. Oh, okay. Was he a contestant or just like mean to one of the participants? He was one of the wild card contestants. Oh, wow. That's surprising. That's one thing people need to, learn, which is like one of the most important things is being someone that people want to like work with. If you're not someone that people want to work with, people aren't going to work with you. I know. Crazy concept. He got brought to the final. I mean, that would be awesome. I don't, like, why would, I'm shocked that you would get to the final and then badmouth anybody unless someone like really did something. Like, if someone did something really messed up to you, okay, like talking about it or something, sure. I could see that, you know. But if they didn't do something like really messed up to you, I can't. Yeah, he told the other artists that their work was garbage. Honestly, it seemed like he was jealous and that they had commercial success. Oh, he was jealous that they had commercial success. Oh my God, that is crazy. Crazy. The only artist I'm okay bashing in public, like talking shit about him, like on stream, is what's his name? Oh my God, I forgot his name now. The guy who cut up the shark. Um, because like fuck you, cutting up catching and cutting up a shark just isn't art. Okay, like just leave the fucking sharks alone. Okay, like. But other than him, like I generally will not badmouth anybody, even if they probably deserve it, because like it's just not a good look, right? You don't. It's just not a good look, right? Yeah. Des I says I have returned. Welcome back, Des. How are you doing, Des? The dogs had fun sniffing and peeing and pooing all over a great nature park. That's good. Yeah, Cassandra, I'm shocked that anybody would do that from portrait artist. I mean, landscape artist of the year. Also, it's so dumb to do that because like a lot of times the people who don't win get a ton of benefit from being on this show. So just being on the you get so much from being on the show. Like, why would you ever jeopardize that just to be just to be mean? And not to mention that when it comes to art, so much of art is subjective, right? Like I'm willing to just be like, whatever, if you like it, you like it. And if it's not for me, it's not for me, except for that one guy, which I can't remember his name right now. That's just because I oppose it on a moral level, right? Like, this says, did you see the guy what wait a second, who stomped out and snubbed the judges, artists, etc.? Oh, are you talking about in Portrait Artist of the Year? That was one of the early episodes. Yeah, everyone was surprised. If Yeah, Cassandra says, I feel like maybe he's not seeing commercial success because he's just completely unpleasant to be around. Yeah, Cassandra, I agree with you entirely. Like that's probably the case, right? He's probably unbearable to be around. So, to get you caught up, Des, Cassandra was saying that there was a one of the wild cards from Portrait Artist from not Portrait Artist of the Year, from Landscape Artist of the Year, was on Threads. He got to the final and he was just talking trash on Threads online about one of the other artists. And we are just talking about that because it's really surprising that anyone would do that. And very stupid too. But the one that you're talking about, yeah, there it was on Portrait Artist of the Year. Someone walked out. He got upset that he didn't get called up as one of the chosen three, so he just went, grabbed this painting off the wall, and left. Oh wait, Cassandra's saying, sorry, I didn't explain well. It wasn't one of the other artists from the show. It was a landscape artist that I follow on Instagram. He just showed up and was ugly to her for no reason at all. Oh, I thought he was one of the 50 uh, they do the like what's it called? They do the like 50 wild cards. I thought he was one of the wild card painters. Um, I thought that's what it was. Did I misunderstand? He was one of the wild card painters who got picked to go all the way to the final. Is that accurate? But yeah, that's just shitty to do. I can't understand someone doing that. The guy who was mean was a wild card from the show. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. The guy who was mean was a wild card artist. Well, he lived up to his name. Did they see it on the show, or was it only on threads that he was mean? I'm not sure what season. I'd have to try and find him again, and I deleted the app. LOL. No worries. Don Lee, welcome. Don Lee says I made it. Yeah, welcome, Don Lee. Good to see you. How you doing? Tanner says the party has arrived. Yep. What up, Liad and people of the chat? I'm doing all right. How are you, Don Lee? I'm tired, but like, what else is new? Yeah. Yep. Basically. Look at that cat. Yeah, it's coming along. I'm still struggling with the fur. I find it very challenging, but yeah. Person has such an interesting face. His expressions seem a little concerned all the time. Could just be the orange cat intelligence a little. No, he looks confused, honestly. I feel like he generally looks confused, but inquisitive. That's the look I get from him when I see him most of the time. It's like confusion combined with inquisitive, which is a weird combination because he never seems to like learn from the being inquisitive part. He just kind of like, oh, interesting, and does not understand what's going on. Sandra says, but I think you've captured his expression well. Thank you. Yeah, this is the cat who I've seen him try and hunt his shadow. So, like, I love the little guy, but he's just not the brightest. Donley says, I want to pet the painting, so I'm pretty sure you're getting the fur thing right. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, in the beginning of the stream, I showed him the painting. He didn't recognize himself. I don't think he will now, but at the end of the painting, I'll pick him up and see if he recognizes himself in the painting. I wouldn't expect him to, but it's funny to try. 'Oh, the baby wakes. He's been asleep on my chair, and he's awake. So take a quick cat break. 1 second. Justin. Baby boy. Aw, here's the baby. Yeah, it's you. Look, it's you. No, no, I don't think there's going to be any recognition of this painting. Thank you, Dresden. My nose appreciates it. This is the hair flying around. Yeah. My nose has been properly exfoliated. Yeah. Okay. He's just hanging out right now. I'm stuck this way for now. I'm just asleep in my arms. He's a very long cat. I'm a cat bed now. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a cat bed now. Yep. Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay, Tristan. All right. I'm about to sneeze. Let me mute. Yeah, and I brush him almost every day, if not every other day. And he's still just the amount of fur that comes off of him is ridiculous. Uh, Tomley says you should probably shake the Tristan gently on top of the painting to complete the painting by floofing more realism onto your painting. Yeah, no thanks. I'm sure there's enough of Dresden's hair already in the painting. We don't need to add more. Yeah, there's enough of him already in there, I'm sure. All right, let's zoom in a little on my reference so I can see things a little better. Don Lee, how did your stream go on Friday? I caught it and then I was in it for part of it, but I had to step out and come back and step out and then I came back and you were raiding someone. And so I was just like, oh well, I guess I missed out on most of it. That's why I didn't participate in chat. I knew I had to step out and come back and step out. So I was like, I didn't say anything in chat, and then I was like, oh, I'll say something when I come back. It was okay, got some decent anatomy study in. Did ears and arms. Yeah, I saw the arm that you were doing. I didn't catch the ears, but yeah, that's great. Ears are fun and hard. But I will say this, you posted them in your sketch section if I'm interested. Yeah, absolutely. I'll check them out later. I will say, personally, this is just, for me, I feel like the hardest is noses. To me, noses are the hardest. I even find eyes easier than noses most of the time. Dunley says, yeah, ears are surprisingly complex. They are surprisingly complex. But luckily with ears, I think you can, um, we're not as familiar with ears, so you can kind of fake it most of the time. And, a lot of times there's things covering it and you're not seeing it in the best angle and so on. But yeah. Don Lee says, I could see that about noses. There are so many varieties. Yeah, the problem I have with noses is there's so many varieties. There's such a complex combination of shapes, and they're front and center on the face. Um, and we're so used to seeing them, so the smallest thing out of place is very obvious. Um, so yeah. And all those complex shapes are just like crammed into such a small area. Cassandra says, they are challenging, but I also love drawing them. Noses? Yeah. Um, I will say, I find drawing noses a lot easier than painting them. Yeah. I find painting them a lot more challenging than drawing them. Donley says, agree, they're a big part of getting the likeness. Yeah, absolutely. Des says, I hate ears. I think ears are pretty easy. Not easy, they're complex, but they're usually not. I don't know. I don't mind ears usually. But to me, ears kind of make sense in the set in the way that they're like, it's like a part that overlaps and then a part that comes out of the overlap and then like it you know what it is? I to me ears are like fabric in a way. All the folds are like fabric because it's just like you have I have earbuds in, but you have like this part that bunches up because it's you know pushed so it folds on itself, and then it you know kind of goes into this part, and then there's another fold here, and this part is on top of everything. Yeah, I don't know. To me, I find ears to be kind of, I'm not saying they're easy, but they're simpler, or I have an easier time with them. Noses are just so nuanced and small, especially like this part of the nose. This part too, and then how it like combines with the eyes. Yeah. But, we all have the things that like get us. But yeah, I don't know. Try thinking of ears as fabric, see if that helps at all. Conley says, I think with ears, you could get away with learning how to draw a specific ear and redraw it on all your pieces. No one's going to complain that you paint the same ear every time, as long as it looks correct in the art. Yeah, that for sure. And also, yeah, I agree. I think of it more because I think of it as like having reference, so if you have like the basic ear and then you're using reference, it's easy to kind of modify the ear to match someone else's ear. Close enough, at least. If you even have to, right? Because, like, if they have long hair, if they have a certain type of hat, if they have a hoodie, if they're turned one way, you only see one of them, like there's so many ways where you don't see the ear. Unless I'm doing anime, there's always a nose. That says it's more about the balance of how much to put in. I get that. You can just reference it and it works, but I feel I need to put more detail and it bugs me. I can definitely see that. Yeah, you can, but you're right. You can get away with very little for the ears and people will accept it most of the time. Less so with the nose, but definitely with ears. The thing that I like about ears um, is you get to do that fun, like, depending on the things, but you get to do the fun, like, glow of the skin with it. So I do like that aspect of it. You can also do a bit of that with the nose too. What's it called? For the nose, it's less the subsurface scattering. It's a little of that, but it's more just the the blood being closer to the skin, um, or whatever. Yeah, it just tends to be a little redder. There's more interesting colors, I think. So I do like noses. I think there's a lot of fun to be had with it. It's just it can be very frustrating. This is the best part of doing ears is the sun shining through and you get bright reds and pinks and oranges. Yeah. Only time I go into detail. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm not even talking. It's just distracted. I'm trying to get some final paint in before I call it a day. I am running on fumes at the moment. I'm going to be calling it a day very shortly. Uh, I was working on a painting last night. I stayed up till like 4 a.m. trying to finish it. So, and then I could not fall asleep. So I'm kind of tired today. I also woke up, well, not early, but earlier than I would normally wake up going to bed at 4. Getting stuff done though? Yeah, I was. I stayed up to finish a painting. I showed it off at the beginning of this stream. I haven't posted it anywhere yet, and I won't be posting it. Anytime, like, well, soon I will, I hope, but like not soon like this week. Soon like this month, hopefully. Not this month, next year. No, next month. Blah. Hopefully next month. Please show again. I'll show at the very end. Give me a few minutes. All right. This was the painting I was working. Hard to do, but this is the painting I was working on. You can't see all of it because the bottom is, it's hard to get it all in frame, but yeah. Can you see? Wait, will the thing show? Yeah, it doesn't really capture it. Yeah. You can see a better shot of it at the beginning of the stream if you rewind it. Yeah. But yeah, wanted to get it done, so stayed up late. And now I'm paying for it. But oh well. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to be calling it a day, I think. It's already 5, yeah. Yeah, I'll be back on Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday night. And then I don't know. I was thinking about maybe doing another stream this week, but not sure. Dunley says anything symbolic to the bird and woman or just like the look? Nothing specific. It's more the feeling that it kind of gave. There's a lot of aspects to it because it's like I had to adjust the photo to like move things around to crop them so that I could crop it the way I wanted. It's just, it's framing. There's a bunch of framing aspects to it, and then there's also the isolation aspect to it, and yet being together. Because they're together, but they're isolated. They're not interacting, but they're also both looking in the same direction. And And then, like I said, there's the framing aspects of it. So yeah, there's a few aspects of it that I liked, but it doesn't say anything in particular. Yeah, the reason I try not to put like a very, very specific meaning to things, like this means exactly this, is because if I do that, then there's no room for interpretation from the viewer. So, you know, that's why I kind of approach paintings that way. All right, friends, I'm gonna call it a day. Yeah, I'm out of steam. I can just feel it. So, um, thank you all for stopping by. I'm sorry I couldn't keep going. Um, but yeah, enjoy staring at the wall. LOL. Yeah. Have a good night. See you soon. Yeah. Have a good rest of your weekend, everybody. And I will be back Wednesday. So have a good one. Bye.